1980s the sequels to popular movies were all the rage. Tim Burton's Batman film, released in 1989, earned over $400 million at the box office, making it the fifth highest-grossing film in history at the time. Of course, the studio wanted a sequel made and released as soon as possible. They approached Tim Burton, who directed the first Batman film, about making a sequel. Tim Burton had mixed emotions from the previous film. "I will return if the sequel offers something new and exciting," he said in 1989. "Otherwise it's a most dumbfounded idea." At the time the director was getting ready to direct Edward Scissorhands, for 20th Century Fox. Tim Burton wanted full control over the production of the new Batman movie. He did not like the script for the sequel. The script had Penguin and Catwoman going after hidden treasure in the Batcave. Vicky Vale and Dick Grayson, Robin, were featured heavily in this story. Penguin's headquarters were to be in an old World's Fair, and he would turn everything on, and Ferris wheels would start rolling after Batman. In the film, Batman is framed, and he is trapped in his Batmobile, while the Penguin controls the car like a video game. There was a lot of wild stuff, like riding up the sides of buildings. The film would have cost $300 million, and would take 2 years to make. Tim Burton selected a new screenwriter, Daniel Waters, who previously worked on Heathers, and was working with Burton on a proposed sequel to Beetlejuice. Waters came up with a social satire that had an evil mogul backing a bid for the mayor's office by the Penguin. Waters reported, "I wanted to show that the true villains of our world don't necessarily wear costumes." He also wanted to have Catwoman start off just at the lowest point in society, a very beaten-down secretary. In early scripts, Max Shreck was the golden boy of the Cobblepot family, whereas Penguin was the deformed outsider. It turned out that Shreck would be the Penguin's long-lost brother. Max Shreck was also a reference to actor Max Shreck, known for his role as Count Orlik in Nosferatu. Max Shreck eventually replaced Harvey Dent's character as one of the film's major villains. Robin's role gradually became smaller with each rewrite, until finally being removed completely by the time another screenwriter took over. Michael Keaton returned to the lead role in Batman Returns, after a significant increase in his salary. He made $5 million for the first Batman. To return to the role, he was offered twice as much. Danny DeVito's casting was preordained by the studio. Daniel Waters even wrote the initial dialogue for the character, with Danny in mind. Annette Bening was cast as Catwoman after Burton saw her performance in The Grifters, but had to drop out due to pregnancy. Jennifer Jason Leigh, Lena Olin, Ellen Barkin, Cher, Bridget Fonda and Susan Sarandon were also considered for the role of Catwoman. Kim Basinger was now out of the film, since Vicky Vale disappeared from the script. Sean Young was originally cast as Vicky Vale in the first Batman movie, until she fell off a horse, fractured her arm and had to be immediately replaced by Kim Basinger. After Sean Young's accident, Kim Basinger's Vicky Vale didn't ride a horse on Bruce's estate anymore, because Tim Burton didn't want to risk another Vicky Vale horse-riding accident, so instead they improvised Vicky and Bruce safely sitting and eating soup in a Wayne Mansion room with a long table. Young visited production offices for Batman Returns, dressed in a homemade Catwoman costume, demanding an audition. Tim Burton was not even there at the time of her visit. Burton was unfamiliar with Michelle Pfeiffer's work, but was convinced to cast her after one meeting. Pfeiffer received a $3 million salary, which was $2 million more than was offered to Annette Bening, and a percentage of the box office. Michelle took kickboxing and whip lessons to get ready for the role. David Bowie was offered the role of Max Shreck, but turned it down, to appear in the Twin Peaks movie. According to casting director Marion Doherty, Burton was reportedly uncomfortable with casting Christopher Walken as Shreck, on the basis that the actor scared him. Warner Brothers devoted a large amount of secrecy for Batman Returns. The art department was required to keep their office blinds pulled down. Cast and crew had to have photo ID badges with the movie's fake working title. After Batman Returns was completed, Warner Brothers felt it was best for Catwoman to survive, saving more characterizations in a future installment. Pfeiffer was unavailable and a body double was chosen. The posters for the film with Catwoman were wildly popular, to the point where they being stolen from the cases they were displayed in on the streets. Although reviews were mixed, The film was a box office success and was the third highest-grossing 1992 movie in North America. Some found Burton's interpretation of the central characters problematic, arguing that the Penguin's physical deformity and homicidal tendencies, Catwoman's degenerative mental state, and Batman's brooding melancholy, as well as his tendency to kill criminals, simply added to the somber and unsettling nature of the film. Batman Returns would be the last film in the Warner Bros. Batman film series that featured Burton and Michael Keaton as director and leading actor. With Batman Forever, Warner Bros. Decided to go in a lighter direction to be more mainstream. Burton had no interest in returning to direct a sequel, but was credited as producer. With Warner Bros. Moving on development for Batman Forever in June 1993, a Catwoman spin-off was announced as well. Michelle Pfeiffer was to reprise her role in a new Catwoman movie. Burton became attached as director, but even as far as in 1994, Burton was unsure of his plans to direct Catwoman or an adaptation of The Fall of the House of Usher. Daniel Waters turned in his Catwoman script to Warner Bros. The same day Batman Forever was released. The film stayed in development hell for years, with Pfeiffer later replaced by Ashley Judd. The film ended up becoming the critically panned Catwoman released in 2004 and starring Halle Berry. Catwoman franchise ended with a whimper, instead of a bang.